crafty friends, it's Sherry. Today I'm going to do a simple craft, but I want to show you my table. It's silly, but it's so satisfying. I had a big pile of stuff over here and I straightened it up, so I'm going to show you. I'm just going to tilt the camera a little bit and show you my whole table because it's so satisfying to clean off my table. So here's what I did. Let me explain. So I had a bunch of stuff. So I took what didn't belong, what I didn't want here at the moment, and I put it over and spread it out on my table that I have in my craft room, the big one. If you've watched my craft room videos, you know I have a big table over to the side over there, and I spread things out that when I'm working on project, everything that has to do with that project, right? So anyway, I had a bunch of stuff over here. What I left over here is just, these were scraps. This is my glue guard, so I always want to have some here if I can, or nearby to grab and put here to protect my surface. So I've got quite a collection now. And then these were all scraps, so I divided them into piles. So they will go from here. In fact, this one probably needs to go over to I put them over by the stairs where I go downstairs, and I make sure they're in the size strips that I want, and then I glue them together for my sewn together strips that I use either in the journals or I send along in the goodie packs, right? So the smallest scraps, the next size scraps, all of these are all not folded, they're all singular, like rectangles and things. Let's see, what is this one? Oh, this one needs to go here, I think. Anyway, yeah, I tried to put all like squares, rectangles right here. Wider strips. So these won't be made into strips. These are going to be made into, I don't know what they're going to be made into, but I just wanted to leave them because they were wider. This one actually could go here. Okay. And then these are the strips that I will cut down. And I mean, some of them are already little tiny strips like this, but I'll cut them into strips and make them into my sewn together strips. And then these are all the biggest pieces here. Anything bigger than this was actually, maybe I had some whole 12 by 12s over here. I put them over on the table with my, paper that I can use in these journals, but they're not necessary to be over here with my scraps because they're not scraps. So then I'll put you back in position here for crafting. And this I wanted to do it anyway. Here I've got my paper cutter. Not my remote that I need to put out of the picture because I've got my TV on. Got my coffee. I've got I don't know if you can see it, my smiley face coffee mug. I just made a fresh cup of coffee. It's so good. Let me take a sip. I'm going to put that over here. I have a cup holder, and it doesn't fit down in there, but it fits in there enough so that it's low enough, the coffee's low enough so it won't spill. And then right here, let's see. So, here's a little piece of trash. Let me put that in the trash. But I have my journal that I want to work on today. I want to finish this up and do a flip through for this week. So, yeah, I just put a piece of ephemera in here and this now, and I was going to start try to finish this up, but I was like, no, I can't deal with the mess. So that's when I started cleaning up my desk. So, yeah, that's that. So I'm putting that to the side for the moment. And what happened was, I'll have some things in my craft room that I want to do, and I can only let them sit for so long, and then I just have to okay, let's get this done because I can't stand this sitting here anymore. So that's why I say this is a simple project. I've done it before, but I just need to get it done and off my desk, right? And I actually had an idea too because this is the cover to the collection kit. It was like this, first day of school, it's Echo Park. And then this is some scraps I pulled out of the scraps that were here in the pile that I cleaned up. These are all blank scraps. So there's white, clean, never used as far as, I didn't use these for a glue guard or anything. and a piece of, or it's actually a whole file folder that I have out here. So that's not a scrap, but I had it out here. So I left it here because they're all solid color things that I can back this with. And that's what I had this sitting here. And I was like, I've got to, you know, it's a project I wanted to do for the last week or two. And I just have left this sitting here. So I'm like, okay, let me just do this real quick. And then I thought, well, let me just turn on the video because I thought you guys might, you know, enjoy. And like I said, I've done this on video before, so you know, nothing earth-shattering, just crafting, everyday cleanup crafting. You could almost call it. But I love how these turn out. So like now I always do it. If I have a pretty, you know, it's just paper, it's slick, you might call it shiny, but they come out so cute. So even this is kind of cute. Look at that, first day of, and if I save the school part, maybe that could be used in some way. You know what we'll do? We'll just cut out the words because I don't think we need this whole thing. I think that would be harder to use, where maybe this, and if I don't use it, I'll put it in a goodie pack. So I'm just kind of like rounding the corners here around the words here. There we go, first day of. So we'll save that. Let me put that over there. And I'm going to get rid of this. And then so what we're left with is this. And then I usually throw this bottom part away. But I thought, let me just see what this looks like cut up into pieces that I could use on tags. I just want to see, like I said, I always, this is, you know, in Echo Park, they did put this down here is showing you what the stickers are in this, you know, collection kit. And like these are the pages, here's the stickers, here's the cut up parts. So it's showing you, like, you know, before you open the package even, what is in there basically. So this part I don't need. I'm just cutting off the parts I'm not going to use in the, to see if there's anything left that I can use for tags. I just like all the little things on here, so I thought, is it really trash, or can I actually use this? And I never have before, so, and I may end up throwing away this time, but we're gonna find out. So here's the other part, school, that goes with the first day of. It's a much bigger word than the first part, but let's just see how it looks. I'm gonna round the corners here. And the other corners can be rounded with the corner rounder. But just going around the word here, whatever. There we go. Okay, there's the word school. And let's see how, so we have first day of school. There we go. You can almost treat it like a sticker, or you could back it if you wanted to, but I'm going to keep it, and if I don't use it in the journal, which I kind of don't really see myself using it in the journal, because I wouldn't want to put it in there and pick the spot for it, or maybe somebody wants to add it to, you know, like, look, just look at this. Look how cute it would look on here. First day of school. Or you put a picture on here of your child, your grandchild, whatever, and put this on the bottom. First day of school picture. There you go. So this is probably going to go in the goodie pack. And I always put a few pretty scraps too in the goodie pack. Not all of them, like all of that won't go, the scraps I just showed you won't go in the goodie pack, but some of them will, a few. So I'm going to cut further on here and just see if we can save this bottom piece. So this is just a kit contains, so it lists a list of what the kit contains. I'm going to kind of cut this off squarish here, like, you know, just cut off this, the words, the text here. And now this should get us down to what is actually here, so we can see, is it something we can use? I don't know, maybe not, maybe part of it, maybe one little piece of it, like this right here is super cute, this strip. And since it's here, I almost have to go straight up. I feel like, I mean, you could cut, I thought about this before too, is fussy cutting all these pieces. And I think I maybe did it once and I was like, oh gosh, I never want to do that again. Yes, I'm cutting through the lunchbox there. But there you go. So I think we're going to try it. We're going to glue this down on some cardstock and see what it looks like. So I think it's really cute just because it has all those school-related things on there. So let's do the same thing over here. Let's see. Let's cut here. Because otherwise, if we cut like way down here, it's going to be too wide. But this, I don't think is going to be too wide. So let's cut here. And cut, there's a little bit of, color here from the top that we cut off. So I want to cut a little strip off here. Just cut that piece off and that'll be trash. So we're left with this. So I don't know. I don't know if I really like those. I'm going to say I don't like those, although I kind of do, but I don't want to make a tag or a pocket out of those. So I'm going to cut right here. Let's just see one more time. So I kind of like these. You got the whole school bus, blue bottle, apple, independent, and a little paper clip. I'm going to save that, but I might not do anything with it. Like I might put that in the goodie pack. And then if someone that gets this journal might want to fussy cut these. I mean, the pennant would be really easy to cut out, right? And then the other things, maybe the paper clip is like, no, I'm not doing a paper clip. Throw that away. Cut out, I think if I were me, I would at least cut out the school bus and the pennant, and then I'll see if I feel like cutting those out, right? So I'm going to save that for that goodie pack. This I'm not going to save. I'm not going to do it to myself. And then this also, so we have another one, a sample of the cut aparts here. And then we have all these pieces. Let's just cut off this light blue part here. And we have glasses, a backpack, what is that, a ticket, and a rainbow. The rainbow would be really easy to cut out, and maybe the book. The other ones are a little bit more fussy. But, yeah, same thing. I don't think I'm going to do anything with it, but I'll put it there for the person that gets it. And then they can throw it away if they want it. They're like, no. They can cut it out. So technically what I usually do with these is I don't cut it with my scissors. So I'm going to do exactly what I would do off the video. Now there's a little white strip on there that I don't want on there. So let's cut that sliver off. I mean, it doesn't matter if it stayed on there, but it just is not really necessary. So there we have that pretty piece. And then let's cut this one next because I want to see what I'm left with here. And then, so I'm going to try to get this one on the edge right here. So I don't have to go back, do a double cut again. Yeah, better that time. So that one's ready. We have 4 strips there, as you see. And then, oops, sorry about that. Then we're going to cut this, see this little part here, we're going to cut that off. And then we'll see what we're left with in this piece. And this is what I always do. This part I like, and I like the outcome, the result. I think they're just so cute. So, but I do need to pay attention to, like, I don't want to end up with one strip. So we've got 4, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can cut 3 each. That'll be perfect. Yeah, I didn't know if it was, I needed to count because I was like going like, is it 3 or 4 each? Or 5 each. Okay, so there we go. So there's one tag, and here's 2 more. Just gonna get this even here. Let's see if we can make one cut. That one looks good, and this one looks good. I'm gonna leave them like they are. And now I've been using the white on the back of these, my white cardstock. I have this little one to use up. This is from a card where I made the front of the card into a postcard. So let's see, is it too short for that? Okay, but the shorter ones can fit on here. one of them. I don't know if I want to do that though, because I'm kind of wasting all of this whole thing. So maybe I'll wait on that one. Wait for something that will fit on there better without wasting the whole thing. Oh, here's another piece. Oh, that's another card. That's the same card. Is it the same size? Yeah, that was the same card. I used two of those card fronts for to make my postcards for my postcard exchange for July. And I've already gotten a couple postcards for August, so I've got to get those out. Those are something I need to do today. If you sent me a postcard for August, I did receive, I think, two, and I think they're over next to me here in a pile I need to clean up. Here's another scrap from my little scrap pile. And if you want, and I might, you know, at some point just run through some of my scraps to use some of those up and just make some simple tags or something. I do like to do that too. I mean, I could just picture, I mean, you can picture it in your head, right? It's just, that would be so cute and fun to make just a bunch of little tags out of those scraps and just, you know, even though they might be blank, they can be added to later. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these down on this scrap. So this is a scrap, and this is my, I'm not so concerned about really not using every piece of even these, but they're such a nice size that I hate to waste that, and like where this is just a piece I need to use up. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me, so that's what I'm doing. But yeah, so yeah, this is my free cardstock that I get from work. So I'm not so concerned about if I throw away a piece, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't paid for this. So, you know, when you pay for it, it's like, yeah, I'm using every piece of it. You know, I'm not wasting any of this. If possible, you know, I mean, you're going to throw away a little piece, but you know what I mean? If there's a piece that can be used, I'm not going to throw it away. Okay, this is my bottle that I'm using up, so I'll use it until glue won't come out anymore, and then I'll leave it upside down again, make sure I get everything out of there, because you know, glue is not cheap. Fabri-Tac glue. I want to make sure there's no kind of like branding on here that I need to cover up, because I'll cover up that first, and then, you know, I won't have a piece that I can't use or have a brand emblem on the back of my tag that I don't want. So there we go. They look so cute, and you can add, I usually add a little ribbon to the top, you know, usually after the videos, because I'm not, you know, during this video, I'm just, you know, getting this done because it's been sitting. And I cleaned up, I did a cleaning video for my members for last week. I'm doing one video per week. That's my goal. And then if I have another one, like I'll do a sneak peek on, oh, I'm listing these journals and the video's coming up this week. I'll do that kind of video too. Little sneak peeks videos on my member channel. For my members, not my member channel. This is my member channel, but you know what I mean? If for my members that, you know, only members can see. What is this on my desk? I think it's glue, but I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, so those have been fun, but yeah, I did a cleaning video, and so I'm trying this week, after I did that cleaning video and cleaned up certain areas, and I really didn't do a lot of crafty cleanup. It was just basically like vacuuming, a little bit of, what you might call craft. See, I'll probably throw this away. Yeah, I'll throw it away right now. I'm not keeping that white cardstock, little strips like that, because like I said, and that, you know, it's just not needed. I really don't have anything to do with white little pieces like that. If it were colored, I would keep it in it, you know, I wouldn't throw it away, but it's just white. So while I love white for backing, I don't love it for just like anything else really. So it comes in so handy though for backing. I just love it. There we go. There's a little bit of right here. I think I'll leave it at that. And then this one, I got a piece to cut off right here. I'm just using my scissors. We'll cut that off. But yeah, I enjoyed doing that video, and I'm going to try to do another cleaning video where I'm cleaning up stuff, like crafty stuff I need to put away, and stuff from, you know, Dollar Tree, thrift store, whatever, that I brought home that I need to put away. So there is these 4, no, 2, and we've got 3 more to do. So we got the 2 bigger ones done, and then this is 3 smaller ones from the outside of the, and then we've got this piece, which I think I'm going to do that too. I want to see how this looks glued down to a piece of cardstock. Just, I mean, you can see what it's going to look like, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to look different if I actually glue it down. Now here's a whole, this is a whole piece. Let's see if I have any more scraps of white cardstock. No, I don't. I might have some in my scrap box, but I'm not going to go get that right now. So let's see. Well, I just need to turn my Fabri-Tac upside down because I just put it like this on my table. Hello. So yeah, here's my other new one. Now I'll use this one now. I'm putting very light coat on here, you know, very light, so it's not like, doesn't cause bulk behind the paper. You know what I mean? I think Fabri-Tac, I feel like Fabri-Tac can do that if you put too much on. It almost causes bulk behind your paper, you know. But I started using it more for that. Like I've started using it instead of art glitter glue, because I used to always use art glitter glue for papery things, and then the Fabri-Tac for cardstock and fabric, of course. But I don't know if you, like, this doesn't cause, like, you can feel the glue, and then you can kind of like burnish it, or just press it out like this, and it feels smooth. And while art glitter glue off, it also feels smooth. Sometimes it dries so fast you can't spread it out, and it actually sometimes leaves like lines, like, you know what I mean? You can see the lines through, like even on something like this you'd be able to see lines. And not that that really matters, like, I don't know, I just kind of got away from using it, and I have a whole bottle here I need to use, so I do need to use it. I just need to maybe spread it out quicker, and you know, certain things it doesn't make lines. It doesn't always make the lines, I don't think. So I don't know. But you know, it would be, I guess I need to keep, I guess I just don't need to try to use it up. I just need to keep it here in case I need it, because I do love it. The art glitter glue, I do love it. Those are my 2 glues that I love. You know, I'm sure I've mentioned it a million times before. Art glitter glue and Fabri-Tac. It's just, for some reason, I don't know, I've gravitated toward the Fabri-Tac. Just I've learned how to use it without globbing it, you know, like this. Like I'm not really hardly even squeezing the bottle. I just put a really lightweight bunch on the back here, and then I'm good to go, right? But this one's a little bit longer than those. And yeah, this has a white background too, so that kind of like, I don't know, you could ink around it if you were worried about it not having like a border or something. I do have, let's see, I have a brown marker right here. I could use that, or I could grab one of my Sharpies and ink around it with that, but we'll see what it looks like when I cut it out. I might just leave it, and then if I put it in when I put it in a journal, like if I put it in one of the 2 I'm working on now, if whoever gets it wants to ink around it, then they can, right? And use whatever color they like. Maybe they have lots of inks they want to use. I don't have lots of inks. I have a couple colors, and I have Sharpies that I will use. Sharpie markers, you know. But that's by choice. I don't want a lot of I don't want a lot of ink, so and I don't use them a lot anymore. I used to use them more, the you know, vintage photo, and really that's really my main one that I have. And I think I have a blue, I do have a little blue one that I got in Happy Mail. So those are my main inks that I will use. But I'm trying to think. I was thinking I had another one, but I guess I don't. I'm trying to think of it and I can't. So I don't think I have another one. But that's by choice, because I just don't want to. I don't use them that much. I don't think I would use them if I had them, and so better off not having to have them here, having paid, you know, spent money on them, and then and having to store them somewhere, you know, that type of thing. So, but a lot of people do use them, and they look really nice. So, you know, I don't know why I never really got into using them too much, except for the vintage photo. I really like that one when I have it like doing a vintage journal. I think it looks really beautiful. So, and all the other inks look beautiful too. When I see people using them, I'm like, oh my goodness, that is so gorgeous. But I just don't want to, you know, I just don't want to spend money on them. So, all right. So this is, you know, I'd say, I think this was worth saving, but of course it's not as, I don't think I like it as much as the others, but I can't say I don't like it. I like it. I like all the little, you know, if you're a journaler and you like, you know, back to school supplies and office supplies, I think that's why I like this one so much, with all the little pieces here. So we'll put that in the pile, and that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to clean that up. I will keep this. You know what I'll do is just do like this. I'll keep this. That's a great backing, and I'll even this up right here. I mean, normally I wouldn't do that, but since we're on camera, I'll just show you like perfect backing for another tag. So I will keep that. It's all ready to go now. I cut that uneven part off, and then this I'll say negative negatory on that one. That was going in the trash. It's too small. So, I mean, it's not too small, but it is too small for what I'm going to, you know, I just don't, I don't need it. It's not colored. It's, you know. So, yeah, you saw my scraps, but this is what we did today. Oh, I did save this one. I don't know if I really need that either. I'm going to throw that one away. That's just, I don't know why. Why did I save that? I don't know. It's, yeah. Okay. So we kept these two to put in the goodie pack for one of the journals. This and this, we kept all that. So we did save some pieces. So that's nice. I'm glad to save some things from the trash. And you saw all my organized scraps. And then this is what we did today. Let me put it right side up and move my paper cutter so we have a little bit more room here. And so yeah, I'm going to try and do a video. I say try because I got a new way of recording it, and with a new, I'm not going to say what it is right now. I told my members, I showed my members what it is. So if you're a member, you know what I'm talking about. I got a new device that I think if it works, I mean, it works. I did work on it since the video where I showed it to my members, and I got it, I had to pair it with my phone, and I did all that. Let's see, can you see everything? But yeah, this is what we just did. So glad to have that done. It was such a little simple thing I just needed to do quickly, and glad to have it done. But yeah, I got that new device working, and I learned how to use it, but now I gotta remember when I'm actually using it how to use it, you know, because you're kind of pushing buttons, and making it work. And then if you push the wrong button, you're kind of like, okay, that was a waste of time. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to try it with that new device that I showed you guys, and I'm going to show my members and see what happens. I think it would be, if it works out, I should say it does work. If it works out to where I want it and how I would like it to, how I'm thinking it, hoping it will work for YouTube, it will be a lot of fun. So thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this crafting, and I'll be back for more. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.